Thank you for listening.
Time for some
Make sure
attitude.
to tune in next time to the Bottom Line Podcast.
Featuring two guys who got the attitudes to match. You're listening to the Bottom Line Podcast with Stevie and the Big Guy.
That's a lot of weight. There's 200-300 pounders up there.
And it starts now.
Double digits, episode number 10 of the We Love Wrestling podcast. I'm Stevie. I'm here with Big Guy, and we got Ricky as well. How are you guys doing?
Doing good.
Yeah, feeling good today.
Feeling good today, huh? Anyone have a major addiction to Pokemon Go? Everyone's doing it right now?
I heard somebody found a body, man.
Yeah, I read that on Facebook. Be mindful of your surroundings, guys. Don't just glue your eyes to the screen. There's been several injuries from it, too.
Yeah, I don't know. It seems kind of weird. It seems like it can be dangerous, like where they be sending you into,
Right.
Yeah.
There's one article that said the police were like, please don't come into the police station to catch Pokemon. Stay outside. You can still get Pokestops outside. Jeez. So we got the Brock Lesnar fight tonight, UFC 200.
Yeah.
You guys excited for that?
Yeah, I mean, you see the weigh-in at all? He's in shape, man. He trimmed down. He's at the 265 weight limit. I mean, he's looking fit.
I did not see that.
Yeah. He's facing a hard puncher, though, with Mark Hunt. Mark Hunt's a hard guy to knock out.
A lot of people,
I don't think...
Sorry.
Go ahead.
A lot of people that I see on there are saying that Brock Lesnar has a glass jaw and that this is going to be a couple hits and he's done.
Well, when Brock Lesnar used to win, it was when he'd run in and he'd take him down. I think if he can get Hunt down and imposes well on him, it's a Brock Lesnar fight. But if it stays standing up too long, he's going to pick him apart and knock him out. Or Mark Hunt's going to knock Brock Lesnar out is what I think. If it goes to the ground, I see Lesnar winning. If it stays up, he's going to sleep. Lesnar is.
My biggest experience with UFC is I have EA access on Xbox One, and I played 9 of my 10-hour trial for UFC 2. And
yeah.
I found that I always win when I put him on the ground and just punch him out. So that's what I think Lesnar's going to do.
Yeah.
Because that's what I did. And
that's
I won the
why I think
heavyweight title and light heavyweight title that way.
Yeah, he's got dangerous ground and pound. If he can get Mark Hunt down, he's gonna pummel him.
I'm gonna go with Lesnar on this one just because I haven't seen anyone quite like Lesnar in my life other than him.
Yeah.
I don't know much about UFC though, so.
The MMA side of me probably sees, if he comes back like he did in his last fight where he got knocked out by Alistair Overeem, if he comes back looking like that, he's gonna get knocked out by Mark Hunt. But the wrestling side of me, we're doing a wrestling podcast. Go Brock Lesnar,
Right, definitely.
Yeah, that's what throws me the opposite way. I'm a wrestling fan, so I want to see him lose and come back to the WWE just destroying everybody because he's so mad that he lost.
Well, his next opponent is Randy Orton.
Right. Yeah, we didn't get into that.
They announced that. It's confirmed. He is facing Randy Orton at SummerSlam.
It was a rumor for a long time. I didn't know they confirmed it.
First time, finally. I've been waiting for this match.
Confirmed it on SmackDown.
Okay.
This is a match that I've been wanting to see. Now, of course it comes after Randy Orton has lost popularity. He's just come back for an injury, so he has no momentum going into this. While Brock Lesnar's getting ready to go to the UFC, and either way, if he wins or loses, he's still going to be having momentum going into this pay-per-view. So it's not really fair that they're throwing Randy into this one. I wish they would.
Right. It's something they can't write yet. You gotta kind of watch and see, what happens with Brock Lesnar's star after this one. If he, gets knocked down a peg or how he's going to come back. But I could see, like Andrew said, a good angle, him coming back mad, him coming back, ready to destroy the WWE. But you never know. I mean, he might even want to take more fights if he really wins this one too in the UFC. Yeah. I see him taking more.
If he wins this one, he is going to be the most over person in WWE ever, because this is, I believe Mark Hunt is like a top 15 heavyweight too. So
Mark Hunt, he was on a pretty good run recently, so, I mean, they're not giving him an easy fight.
Right, so this is a big deal. If he wins, he is an absolute monster in WWE for a long time coming.
Right. He don't even have to take a fight for a while. He's going to be, riding that.
I don't think WWE's going to let him take a ton of fights. But if this works out well and they get a lot more pay-per-view buys or more viewership because Lesnar fought this match, we're going to probably see at least once a year Lesnar fighting.
Yeah. Yeah. And, I mean, you never know. I mean, you got CM Punk coming, too. I mean, he's not really has nothing to do with the WWE anymore, but it could be, the cross-promotion thing. They try to get it going every so often. Every couple of years they got, guys going this way and that way. They got UFC guys coming to WWE. You had Ken Shamrock. Some of these guys are going back and forth, and it sounds like they want to get Ronda Rousey in there, too, and even some of these other women fighters. They had Ronda Rousey in WrestleMania,
Well, I guarantee you, during CM Punk's fight, they're going to talk about SummerSlam during that broadcast because it's the next day after that fight, and I'm sure that's part of the deal. Letting Brock fight 200 is you got to advertise our SummerSlam with Brock in it. So
yeah.
I almost guarantee, even though CM Punk doesn't want to be anywhere near WWE, that show that he's on is going to be very focused on WWE.
Oh yeah, yeah.
All right,
but
so
it's like I say, they're in a good WWE at least is in a good position on that one. If he wins, hey, he used to be a wrestler. If he loses, hey, he wasn't cutting the mustard. What they'll say about CM Punk probably.
Right. All right. Next thing I want to talk about before we get into this pay-per-view is the Cruiserweight Classic. I just watched the bracketology the other day. Have you guys watched it yet?
Haven't got around to it yet.
Oh, man. It is fantastic. I recommend doing so because they highlight probably about 8 to 10 guys in the Cruiserweight Classic. And this makes you want to root for them more. I mean...
Where are a lot of these guys coming out of? Are they coming out of New Japan?
They have 16 different countries are being represented in this Cruiserweight Classic of 32 wrestlers. So, I mean... Are
they pulling guys out of NXT to this, or are these guys who have no WWE, no current contracts?
There's about 3 or 4 guys from NXT, and the rest are all around the world. This is like a massive tryout, basically.
Yeah.
I think we're going to see a lot of signings coming out of this.
Well, they got the brand split coming up too, so they're going to have a lot of roster spots. They're going to have to fill out the mid cards again. This is going to be,
Yeah, I think you're going to see quite a few of these guys get around there because it's a good mixture of styles too. It's not just like the high flying luchador type cruiserweights. It's also technical cruiserweights like Dean Malenko. Like
you got the Malenko guys, huh?
Yeah. Zack Sabre Jr., who's probably known as one of the best wrestlers in the world, is in this tournament. And he's a technical wrestler. He models his style after Jericho and Malenko, so that's someone I'm interested to see in this tournament. And Kota Ibushi, he's in it. He's more strong style like Nakamura, so it'll be interesting to see these guys.
You got Tajiri back in there, 45 years old.
And he signed a contract already for WWE. He's coming back.
Hey, why not? Why not? He's always been entertaining.
Yeah, I mean, if we can see a skit with William Regal and Tajiri again, I'll be happy. I love those guys together.
Until a couple weeks ago when we went to Raw, the last time I went to Raw, I had a sign on one side was Tajiri, the other side of the sign was Hurricane Helms. So.
Nice. That's pretty awesome. So yeah, I'm expecting really good things out of this tournament. We're going to see a lot of great matches. And just get to see some different styles in a WWE setting for once.
So it's exclusive to the WWE Network on Wednesday night, huh?
Wednesday nights, yep. Starting this Wednesday. Premiere episode.
I'm always happy to see him break out to more nights with the live wrestling.
Yeah.
I like the Saturday night shows, too.
Well, the cool thing is it's going to be NXT and Cruiserweight Classics on Wednesday, so it's like a double dose of awesome wrestling on Wednesday night now. So now you have Monday Night Raw, Tuesday Night SmackDown, Wednesday Night NXT and Cruiserweight Classic for a while.
Yeah. Then Sunday pay-per-views.
Sunday pay-per-views, which is every other week once the brand split happens. Seems like at least. And then, if you like TNA, you can watch TNA on Thursday.
They might have to bring back the In Your House ones again, man. They'll probably run out of names for them, and to save the money on the set, they'll put the window in the backyard out there and have a new In Your House.
That's true. That is probably how they did that.
Yeah, that to me, when I looked at it, I guess we can segue into it, but that's kind of what it looked like to me when they had so many In Your Houses. It was just like they had so many sets, and they had just like, we're out of ideas, we're getting beat, let's just call them In Your House something.
Oh, yeah, definitely. They're like, let's do a whole brand on, we can save money on the set. We'll just add an icon for each one that we can just make for like $50 and put it out there. Like
a skull and a man-time mask.
So stupid. I want to punch it every time I see it. But this is my second time podcasting this pay-per-view.
Really?
Sorry.
We Love Wrestling podcast did it for, I want to say our first episode was Mind Games.
Wow.
I know, isn't it sad I had to do it twice?
Yeah.
There's only 2 good matches on this pay-per-view.
Well, there's some interesting things that happened in this one.
Yeah, there is.
A little bit of ECW stuff in this one.
Wasn't that something? Bet you guys didn't see that coming.
Yeah, I forgot about it.
I didn't notice it.
Oh, well,
you didn't notice it?
Enough attention.
It was during your buddy Savio's match. Savio got a little bit of beer spit in his face by Sandman.
And Tommy Dreamer was right next to him.
Yeah, and Paul Heyman was out there.
You have no sound right now, Barble.
Oh, I thought it was just a fan.
Oh, no, that was ECW.
That was Sandman with the blonde hair that spit on him, and he had Tommy Dreamer was next to him, and Paul Heyman was out there. He was a little harder to see, but he was out there with him.
See Paul.
So it was planned.
Okay.
So this is the second Caribbean strap match that I've seen this year on the pay-per-view with Savio Vega, and they both end the exact same way.
The trickster way.
Yeah, where the heel's winning. He hit 3 corners, but right behind him, he's dragging Savio Vega, who's sneakily hitting all the corners. And then he puts up a little bit of resistance on the last corner, jumps over him, and hits the turnbuckle to win. And it's like, you just did this finish with Stone Cold about 4 months ago. Why are we seeing this again? Exact same match. It's almost like they watched the match, and then they're like, okay, now Justin, we need you to play Stone Cold here.
Yeah.
Savio, just do the same stuff. They're like, okay, let's do it.
Well, back then they probably figured, well, there's no way somebody's buying this many pay-per-views in a row. We'll just do the same thing. Like a comedian, when he does the same set over and over every time he goes to, like, oh, let's just throw somebody in there and give Savio a Caribbean strap match. Who are we going to have?
They didn't have any build to this match either. They didn't even announce it for the pay-per-view on Raw, so I don't know how it actually became part of it.
Who did Justin, the last pay-per-view, the SummerSlam, didn't Justin Hawk come out and beat on Savio, or who did he come out and beat on?
He might have. I think they had a match on Raw, the match after SummerSlam, the Raw after SummerSlam, and he beat him down, but they didn't announce a strap match. They didn't announce, like, a return match. It's there. Really weird to me. No build at all.
Yeah, we didn't even predict that last week.
No, we did not. So, do you guys have anything else to add to Bradshaw versus Savio Vega, or?
No.
Savio wins with the trickster way, and
right.
That's that. No one really cared about that match other than ECW. I'm hoping we see more of that, though. I know that they had a little invasion Raw where they take over Raw, but I don't know when it happens.
Yeah.
And I think that's the first time we get to see one of the Hardys on Raw, too. Back when they were jobbers. Alright, so match number 2, and I bet this is
big match
for Marvel. We got Jose Leverio versus Joe Cornette, who is in some kind of contraption suit.
I think he's got a spare tire attached to his waist or something.
He had something. He looks stupid. and Puppy. But before he actually gets to the ring, we see a cutaway scene where Razor Ramon and Diesel attack Savio Vega in the back.
He's messing with the Click.
Now, Barble, tomorrow night, or rather the next time you watch Raw, I believe you get to see their debut.
Oh.
Their re-debut. Their return.
Right.
Yeah.
I can't wait.
Because it's Kevin Nash and Scott Hall.
Yeah. JR said so.
He did.
They replaced those guys anyway when they left. With fake Diesel.
Yeah. Pretty terrible that they did that too. I mean, the gimmicks weren't what made it great. It was the wrestlers.
Yeah.
But
I think they really thought they're going to pull it off too. They're like, oh man, we got the characters. Let's show them.
Yeah, definitely.
It was a weird move.
So there's some great lines on commentary though about Jim's outfit. They called him a giant Twinkie and the Michelin Man. I thought that was really
the Michelin.
funny. But this match ended in about 20 seconds.
Yeah, it was a squash match.
Jose punched him a couple times and that was it.
Yeah. Bagilla bounced off the ropes, a little punch, a little drop to the ground, and pinned him. Didn't even get the racket involved.
I bet you're disappointed they can give this one 20 minutes, Marble.
I really was.
I wanted it in a steel cage.
Steel cage. No.
Inferno match.
Yes, there we go. Oh man, Jim Cornette would be screwed. He would fly on fire instantly with that suit.
I wanted him to pull that the tennis racket out and with it covered in barbed wire and put it to Jose Lothario.
Hardcore.
Little payback for Shawn Michaels' mentor.
Oh man.
After the whooping he took from Shawn Michaels in the last one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. He was so brutal with that tennis racket. And Jim Cornette hates Shawn Michaels.
Yeah.
In real life, that is. Alright, so then we had the Owen Hart, Brian Pillman, and Steve Austin interview. What do you guys think about this?
Man, I love Brian Pillman. You know, he was one I would have liked to seen a lot more of. You know, I used to, one of the first things I did when I got the WWE Network was go back and watch those old, what were they? They went up against, the WCW went up against the WrestleManias and they were free. The Clash of the Champions.
Yeah.
Some of those were real good with what were they? The Hollywood Blondes or whatever.
Austin.
Him and Austin. Those were great matches. Austin was good back then. You know, a lot of people say, "Oh, he came here," and when he became the Rattlesnake was when he took off. They just didn't know what to do with him. He was great before he even got to the WWE.
He was great at WCW. He was very entertaining.
Yeah.
He was definitely one of their top heels until they decided to bury him.
Yeah.
When Hogan came, they buried the crap out of Austin, and he was very unhappy because he was going to get a world title run, and then Hogan came in, and they squashed him after that.
Wow.
So, yeah, I mean, they didn't know what to do with him. He was definitely ahead of his time. The Hollywood Blondes were, if they were a tag team in the late 90s instead of early 90s, they would have been one of the most over tag teams of all time, I think.
Yeah.
They were definitely ahead of their time.
Pillman kind of kept getting better, too, kept getting crazier.
Yeah. What happened was they did this angle in WCW where Eric Bischoff fired him on camera, but then he appeared, like, after he was fired on several different shows, and they were calling him, like, a lunatic, like, basically like they do Dean.
Right, he was kind of an early Dean, in a way.
And then, all of a sudden, he was supposed to come back and get rehired, but he got a better deal from WWE and signed with them instead. And really screwed Eric Bischoff. It was awesome. And then they just used the same gimmick in WWE because it wasn't, like, official. It was off the books. They literally fired him, but it's supposed to be a storyline. And he used that as his advance to get into WWE.
Okay.
So what do you guys think about Owen Hart in this one? It seems like he's away from Bret Hart. To me, it seemed like this period in Owen Hart's career, he was kind of a lost soul. They didn't know where to stick this guy. You know, he didn't have a really good, once he left kind of the Hart Foundation and all that, he never really landed, I think, anything that was really super interesting.
Well, this is before the Hart Foundation.
Yeah.
This is... I still think he's good at this point because he's working with Bulldog a whole bunch here. They're a tag team and they do great work with each other. Whenever Brett leaves the WWE is when I feel like Owen really loses his way.
Yeah. So where was this at then? Why was Bret Hart out on this?
He lost at WrestleMania against Shawn Michaels in an Iron Man match. And he just took time off, and
Oh, okay.
he's about to return now, actually. I think he's 1 month away from returning.
Oh, really?
Or 2 months, maybe. It's really close. We'll be hitting him in the next month or month and a half.
Okay.
I mean, we saw that little interview on Raw last week where he was kind of on there, but he's not really ever a promo guy. He's more of a wrestler. Marvel doesn't really know Bret Hart that much, so I'm excited for him to come back so he can
Oh,
see
wow.
great matches.
Yeah, he was good.
One thing I liked is that Owen still had Brian Pillman mention his WrestleMania victory over Bret, even though it was 2.5 years ago. That was something that I thought was really funny. And I love whenever Austin said, if you put the letter S in front of Hitman, that's exactly what I think about for Stone Cold.
Yeah.
Or what I think about for Hitman.
Yeah.
Really classic line. And then, is this the first time he said, and that's the bottom line because Stone Cold said so? It might be.
I think so. That's the first
saying that King of Ring.
the phrase. He said that's the bottom line before, but he hasn't finished it before this, I don't think.
Alright, cool. Well, there's that.
Yeah.
Do you guys have anything else to add to this interview?
Not really. Kind of strange seeing an interview in a pay-per-view, you know. It's
Right, it seemed like a Raw bit, right, you know, in the pay-per-view.
I think they need to kill some time.
Yeah.
It seemed like a short pay-per-view.
The End of Your Houses are only 2 hours, actually.
Yeah, it seems short.
Yeah, they all are 2 hours until 98, and then they kind of dropped the In Your House name altogether, too. Like, I know Unforgiven still has In Your House advertised on it, but they just call it Unforgiven. And then I think after Unforgiven, it officially drops off, and it's never heard of again.
They probably misplaced the set and they had to move on.
So match number 3 for the tag team titles. Owen
Well,
and
first
Bulldog.
before that, Andrew, they had another city visit with Mark Henry.
Oh, yes.
A little bit shorter than the last one, but it sounds like they told him to just look thoughtfully at things and touch them. So what did he pet a statue and a horse, and
Where's the
and he stress tested the Liberty Bell. They said, go around and stress test some stuff, Mark Henry. But yeah, this one was short. This one.
on?
What did you say, Marvel? You cut out.
Got uniform on?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The
By the
jumpsuit.
way, did you guys actually watch Raw this week at all?
Yeah.
Mark Henry had a USA attire on because he's part of Team USA. I wish he would have brought out this old uniform for that
Right.
match. I think that would have been awesome. Awesome.
With the
throwback.
WWF logo on it.
Yeah, I don't care.
I liked it.
It would have been cool. But just the patriotic form he took in this pay-per-view. Obviously being in Philadelphia. I was shocked anyway about this tag title match. JR actually mentioned Vince being indicted on commentary. I
Wow.
was shocked that he would say that on commentary.
Yeah.
Steroids.
Yeah. That's something that if someone said that on air now, Vince will probably have them fired within like a minute or two of it being said. Like they'd be
Right.
like, "Oh, and I gotta go." And
What exactly did he say to him?
I can't remember what the line was, but
Yeah.
I think it was something like he was talking about how he was lying about Razor and Diesel or something. He was like, "I didn't do anything as bad as when you got indicted by the FBI." And it was like, "Oh my God, JR, don't get fired, please." Anyway, this was a pretty good match. I like this match a lot. I
Yeah.
love the part wherever they hit the Sidewinder and then Owen comes with his amazing splash from across the ring to save
He
the
got some
match.
hit.
Yeah, he hit it too. That was a long distance. That was like almost clear crossed.
This was a technical one for him, too. He did a lot of good submissions, Owen Hart did. Owen Hart looked pretty good in this one.
Brett always said that Owen was the better of the two. Which, I mean, he could be, but I always found Brett's matches to be better. When they're together, though, they put on some great matches together.
Yeah, they know how to make some real-looking fights.
Clarence Mason obviously came out for this match and managed them because Cornette was too hurt to come out. I don't know if like they're teaming up now, I guess.
Well, he signed a contract laying on the table after he took the beating.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
They didn't say what about. There was just a bunch of jabbering, and he signed a paper.
Okay. But yeah, he almost cost him the match when he came down, though. He came down, Bulldog was like, look at him, and it got rolled up. I was like, oh man, that would be hilarious if they lost like that.
I wouldn't.
Well, of course they were going to win. I told you they were going to win. I felt it. I couldn't remember what actually happened, but I felt like they were going to win this. It was time.
And they disrespected Sonny in the process, too.
Wait, how'd they do that?
With that banner they had with
oh, yeah, the banner. I forgot about that.
the autograph with the mustache and the glasses they drew on it.
Bulldog
She got a little heated. She got a little heated at the end, too.
Oh, yeah, she did. I was going to say, Bulldog won with a running power slam, and then Sonny fires the smoking guns.
Yeah. What do you think about the smoking guns? I thought they were pretty good. I like Billy Gunn and Bart Gunn.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Billy Gunn. I always have been, so I'm always happy to see him on screen. Bart Gunn's okay.
He's a Brawl for It All champion.
That's true. Not that that really says much, because that was probably one of the biggest train wrecks of the Attitude Era.
Flash Butterbean punching bag, but that's later.
Well, that, I think, was punishment, because they wanted Dr. Death Steve Williams to win.
Right.
Build him up as a main eventer with the win from Brawl for All.
But look at Bart Gunn, man. Bart Gunn's, he's pretty solid. How can you really say a younger guy like that isn't going to go through that tournament? You know, they expected that old veteran to win it.
Yeah, they did. And when he beat him, I know he got a lot of heat for that. Like, that tournament was built for Steve Williams. They made that to put him over as a main event.
I wonder how old he was at that point. He had to have been pretty old at that point.
37 or 38 at least.
Yeah.
He was up there.
And I'm sure Bart Gunn was in his prime going into that one.
Oh yeah, he was like 27, 28 at that point, I would think.
Pretty solid guy, too.
If you see a picture of Bart Gunn now, he's huge.
Really?
Yeah. Same with Al Snow. Have you seen a picture of Al Snow? Oh man, he is like so big now. He's like Arnold Schwarzenegger big.
Wow. Does he still wrestle?
For TNA, yeah.
Huh.
Do you guys have anything else you want to add to this tag team match?
No, there was what I guess the win by Billy was flirting with Sonny. It looked like on the outside of the ring, and I guess Bart got flung into him. I can't remember too much about the end of it, but I know they ended up fighting.
Slam.
Yeah.
All right, so next match. We had Mark Henry versus Jerry the King Lawler in probably match of the night part 2. I told you, Varvel, I warned you about this match.
You did.
I told you how bad it was. And you're
I
like,
was hopeful. Mark Henry puts on good matches now. Back then, he's in his prime. He just got done with the Olympics, so I thought it was going to be really something to watch.
Well, you can't say he's in his prime because look at him. He's insanely built here. He's not bad at all. He's just all muscle. And you can see it. But
it's effortless. He was picking people up over his head.
I know. He's super strong here. But the problem
what did he win? You win by the upside down bear hug or something?
Yeah, it was a backbreaker is what it's called. Backbreaker submission. And it was awful. Everything about this match was awful.
Well, it had the end here, a little setup with the new Rockers. We had Al Snow out there.
Yeah, we did.
After you told me who he was last night, yeah. I couldn't see his face too much in this one. He just got kind of flung out the ring real quick. But then Triple H came out and got flung out too.
Oh, I bet he hated doing the job to Henry too.
Yeah, they were putting Henry over big on this one.
Well, they have to. The Olympic gold medalist right now.
Yeah.
You got to ride with the momentum here.
Well, that's why I said that with the UFC, too. I mean, the WWE loves cross-promotion. Anything legitimate they can tie themselves to, they're in.
Oh, of course.
You know, it helps legitimize their entertainment.
Absolutely. But, yeah, there was nothing to this match at all. Terrible ending. I would like to see the torture rack as a finisher. It's a little bit different than what he did. I think it will fit better than the backbreaker submission.
Yeah.
It would have gave him a little cooler finisher, I think. But other than that, there's nothing they could have really done to save this match because Mark Henry's just way too green to be wrestling right now.
Yeah. He's still, I mean, he's got to be one of the worst on the mic I can think of. They've spoon-feed him some of his best stuff and the best, the kind of the sexual chocolate era.
Yeah.
Just the sketches he's in are just kind of built around that persona, and that's what makes him great, but he's never really been good behind the mic, and here he's almost silent.
Yeah, there's one time where I thought Mark Henry was decent, and that's whenever he did his fake retirement a couple of years ago, and then attacked Cena. That whole promo was awesome because he really made you care about the fact that he was retiring after for so long being on the undercard and no one really caring that he was there. He made everyone care. He made everyone sad that he was leaving. And he said, "May, I'm coming home." And it was like tearful, and then all of a sudden he hits the World's Strongest Slam on Cena, and you have a main event match. That was probably Mark Henry's shining moment of his career. That or when he was House of Pain world champion and just destroying people.
Yeah.
So after the beatdown of all the jobbers, Henry looks really strong, and then we have the final curtain match between Goldust and Undertaker. Mr. Perfect actually gave away the fact that he didn't know the pay-per-view here. Did you hear it, Marvel? It looks like you're laughing over there.
Yeah.
He said when they showed the Mankind vs. Taker Buried Alive match for the next pay-per-view, also called Buried Alive, he said, "I thought the final curtain match was tonight," implying that he thought it was Mankind vs. Undertaker. So you should probably keep your commentators up to date with the card that he's actually announcing on. That's a little embarrassing. Obviously, if it's a final curtain match, though, you already know who's going to win before you even watch the match. They're not going to have Goldust win this feud.
Yeah.
Which kind of took down the match to me, because they didn't put any stakes to it. Like, it's just the final curtain match. They're not going to have the face lose, so Undertaker's going to win. Do I really want to watch this match now?
Well, it was kind of a domination by Undertaker. The only thing Goldust seemed to be able to get in was the cheap moves. It's, he got in, he gold dusted him, and turned it around on him a little bit. And
yeah, he definitely did. The one thing that really made me mad about this match, they tried to choke slam from the top turnbuckle, but it was so sloppy. Goldust actually lands on his feet, and then he jumps and does the choke slam like normal.
I noticed. I seen that too. The choke slam before the tombstone at the end. Yeah. He tapped his feet on the ground and then he fell down. And they're like, "Oh, it's a choke slam. It was a choke slam." I was like, I didn't even know if they were going to officially call it that or not.
It was bad. It was really bad.
Yeah. It was kind of a hop off the turnbuckle and a push to the ground.
Even the tombstone was pretty sloppy too, compared to what, from other pay-per-views.
I was definitely disappointed because their last match was pretty good. So I was disappointed that they couldn't really do the same here. I mean,
I was expecting to see some Mankind come out in this one too, but I guess since he had to wrestle next, I didn't want to deal with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was fine with this match if they made Goldust look better, but they made him look really weak after building him up for so long. Sorry, Barbara, I cut you off. What were you saying?
I thought I was really expecting Paul Bearer to come down with the urn or something and kind of tease him, kind of distract him a bit.
Yeah, could have. I think they saved everything for the main event. That could have been. They could have gave a little bit more to this match and made it a little more interesting. But
yeah, they could have. So let's talk about the main event. First of all, this is one of my favorite main events just because it's so different the way they built it up. You have Mankind, who hasn't really seen a title match yet, against Shawn Michaels, who just got done beating Vader at the last pay-per-view. But Mankind's... is he undefeated here? I don't think he's lost anything yet.
Yeah, I've seen.
I'm pretty sure he's undefeated, so this is a pretty big match for Shawn Michaels to tackle. And he starts out just unloading on Mankind. I mean, he is at his best at the beginning of this match.
yeah,
He hits the elbow drop within the first 3 minutes and already sets up for the sweet chin. I'm like, oh my, is this match already going to be over?
did you guys see the turnbuckle cam? That's something I'd like to see back with the GoPro cameras. That was kind of cool to see him launch out of that corner. What was it, an elbow?
Yeah.
Off the turnbuckle, and they only went to it once. I thought they were going to show it more. I'd like to see it back.
Yeah, that was neat.
Nice little innovative thing they did back in '96. They should definitely bring that back.
Yeah, especially with the GoPro cameras. Get them all over the place. Even put them on the wrestlers. That might be kind of cool to see.
That would be cool.
I'd like to see one of the flips over the ropes with a helmet on or something, but
That'd be cool. Mankind did his best during this match to make Shawn Michaels look good. He was taking all those concrete bumps.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the steps were. He was hitting them hard too.
Oh yeah.
His knee hit it real hard that first time.
I know, it that sound it made. It was I'm like, oh god.
He kept going back to it too. This was one where it's Mick Foley at his best, man. He's in there with somebody that can wrestle a good long match. So he's getting beat up the whole time. He took a good beating that whole match. It was so much vicious stuff to him. The Shawn Michaels stuff was kind of the mandible claw, the traditional wrestling moves. Mick Foley was taking these out of the ring spills, the concrete spills, the off the steps. He didn't bleed a whole lot in this one, but he was damn close.
He was taking a lot of hard bumps. I think he was trying to really put himself over as a main event wrestler while making Shawn Michaels look fantastic. This is what you want to see in a main event. You want to make the champion and the challenger look good, and that's what Mankind did here. I give him a lot of credit because Shawn Michaels at this time was not about making anyone look good.
Oh, he did the hangman, too. Did you see that was how he lost his ear a couple years before he got caught between the ropes?
Yeah.
Where they did the hangman, and then Shawn Michaels came over and choked him a little more. Where he lost his ear? Yeah.
So yeah, pretty good match, and we got to see a table spot, which was few and far between in the WWE.
The whole Spanish broadcaster booth was taken out. One of them got knocked out of their seats. He just chucked them into them.
Pretty awesome match.
Yeah. But it had a crazy ending though. It was I wasn't planning to see a disqualification. I was planning on seeing a clean win by Michaels on this one, but he got a DQ by Vader.
That really builds up Mankind also, the fact that he didn't actually take the pin.
Right, definitely.
Well, Vader came out, took him out. Yeah, and then Sid came out, and then Paul Bearer came out and attacked Shawn Michaels, knocked him out, but it was too late. The bell had already been rang, and Michaels won by DQ.
Undertaker, so.
Yeah.
It's funny to go back and see these Shawn Michaels matches like this because he's such a fan favorite, but he's also kind of he's almost a stripper.
Yeah.
With what he wears, and at the end, he's out there posing after his DQ win, so happy with the belt, showing off his ass tattoo,
Yeah, he was like mooning the crowd almost.
Yeah, it was, this was, I guess, the early Attitude Era, but it was still a character that was kind of developed before that, and it was accepted, this sexual character like this.
It was really weird that they did that, and we've been seeing on Raw, they've been advertising his Playgirl shoot during this time.
Yeah.
So I think maybe they have him do that just to advertise his butt a little bit, make girls want to buy that magazine.
Well, it shows them getting into it. You know, they're sexualizing it a little more. You know, this is they got the kind of tame Sonny and Sable at this point. And when they, you know, get into it a little deeper, it's full-fledged with them, and they got the attention. But they're trying to get into the ECW, you know, sexual side of it here. It's kind of, you know, they're starting to hit that pivot.
Yeah, we're getting closer and closer to 97, and when we hit 97, it becomes the Attitude Era officially.
It kind of goes away from the bright, colorful characters, and they try to kind of intertwine more with what's, you know, reflecting society at the time instead of being fantasy.
That's why the podcast started at King of Ring 96. I want to watch the differences slowly start piling up until we were actually into the Attitude Era.
And you know what? It felt almost like a hardcore match. I mean, they used a lot of chairs in this one. You know, there was a lot of, you know, Mankind punching a chair about as hard as he can and getting taken out with it, and you know they used a lot of hard hits on this one. This was definitely not a traditional wrestling match. This was moving towards hardcore with this one, and it being a main event World Heavyweight Championship match too with Shawn Michaels.
Yeah, I mean it definitely was one of their more hardcore matches. Like I said at the SummerSlam pay-per-view, that Boiler Room Brawl was really a segue to the style.
And it seemed like they tried to open it. They tried to open it with the strap match. Almost felt kind of hardcore too, with the ECW guys in it, and you know, a lot of the beating with the belt and stuff like that. It was a lot of, you know, hits to the face, hits to the back. You know, it wasn't a traditional kind of wrestling match there either when they started it out. Definitely. And this kind of ended it that way. You know, it felt pretty brutal.
Well,
you know, it was definitely
in from a Philadelphia crowd. And this is ECW's home city. Like, they want to see the hardcore stuff, so they're getting more of it here than they would normally do, too.
Yeah, there were some chants, too, during the main event.
Yep.
Some more ECW chants.
So, do you guys have anything else you want to add about this pay-per-view?
No, it was. I enjoyed it. You know, for one, you're not going to hear. You know, these are two wrestlers that got a lot of stories about their big show matches. This was a small show, but it was a good match on a small show.
Oh yeah, definitely. I think Metzler gave it free quarters on Star.
Yeah.
So
I'm glad I watched it. It was a good one to watch.
Yeah, I mean they've had better pay-per-views, obviously, but this was a nice small one that, you know, had a couple of good matches on, mostly terrible matches, but the main event really saved it, I think.
Yeah.
So next week, we're going to do 2 Raws and a Nitro again with Barbell's Monday Night War segment. Ricky, are you going to be joining us next week?
I'll try.
You'll try?
We'll see. If I can't get on these, I'll definitely be on the next pay-per-view with you guys. I'll try to get the pay-per-views, you know, at least that I can watch with you.
Okay, sounds good.
And then, you know, even I might try to get on this next one too, to even talk a little bit maybe about the next Battlegrounds coming up.
Yeah, it is coming up. We will be doing a review of that as well.
And then we could maybe even talk about the Cruiserweight Classic if it's up and going. You know, the first episode of that too.
I'll be watching this Wednesday.
And then when we got so much coming up. When we got the brand split. What are they doing? The draft?
Yeah, we're going to do a mock draft. The brand split is the 26th now, I believe. So probably the weekend of Battlegrounds, I want to do 2 episodes. I want to do one for just the draft, and I want to do one for like our normal show with Battleground predictions.
It's going to have to change it. I mean, I've seen it happen. You know, we've seen the draft, you know, happen before, but it'll be interesting to see how it comes out. They have a lot more talent. They didn't have NXT back then. These guys weren't visible. You know, there's going to be a lot of. These are going to be exciting shows because there's going to be a lot of premieres. You know, there's got to be a lot of people coming back. It's going to be a lot to talk about.
There's going to be a lot going on, and I'm very excited to see what they do with draft, especially with Roman Reigns, because he's still going to be suspended during that draft. Do you draft him, or do you leave him undrafted and see where he shows up? Because either way, I mean, he's missing out on one of the biggest nights of the year.
Yeah.
And another question is, what about this main event? Like, is this the last time we're going to see the Shield all on the same show? Are they going to split them up? They could.
Who knows? A lot of questions.
Lot of questions.
Week.
What? What'd you say?
We'll have the answers for you next week.
We won't. We'll have
Speculations.
answers for you in a month.
JR told me I have a solid source that we are going to have answers next week.
Tune in.
Okay, fair enough. JR from 96 told you that. It must be true.
Okay.
All right. So is that all we got, guys?
That's all I got.
That's all you got, Farble?
That's all I've got.
Well, then that's the bottom line, because we said so.
Thank you for listening, and make sure to tune in next time to the Bottom Line Podcast with Stevie and the Big Guy.